Little Evil. Let's do this. Little Evil is written and directed by Eli Craig, who's also known for writing and directing Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. This is a Netflix original movie that follows Gary, Adam Scott, who is just married and moved in with Samantha Evangeline Lilly, the woman of his dreams, as he starts to suspect that her 6-year-old son might just be the Antichrist. Performances are good, and it was nice to see Adam Scott and Evangeline Lilly in a movie together because I feel they are very underrated. And I would like to see both of them in films more. I do feel though that Evangeline Lilly was really underused in this movie. She is shown in many of her past roles that she is a more than capable actress, so I think her character should have been given more to do. So that was a bit disappointing. Eli Craig did a really good job directing Owen Atlas, who plays the kid in this film. They went for the less is more approach, and for most of this film you hardly hear the kid talk at all. He just stares, and when he stares, it looks like he's looking directly into your soul. It's creepy. He also has an evil goat sock puppet. That's normal. This film, for the most part, does a good job of balancing out the horror and the comedy, which movies like this can often struggle to do since they're completely different tones. And if they do fail, well then that movie's just a write-off. But this one I feel knew exactly from the start what it was trying to do. It was trying to lean slightly more towards the comedy, and it does work. There was a nice use of horror tropes in this, but I did feel it was overused at times. At one point in the film it feels like every door he opens just creaks open, so that was definitely overused. And I like how they referenced and paid homage to various cult classic horror films. The two that really stood out to me was one from The Poltergeist and one from The Shining. I'm not a massive horror film buff, but I'm sure someone who is will notice a lot more than me, but they're the two I noticed. There's a good sense of mystery in this film, especially in the first half. You're following Adam Scott throughout the entire movie, and you're just as intrigued as he is about finding out what the hell is going on with this kid. And I liked how they stuck with his character throughout because it does make you learn at the same pace as him. You never know more than he does. He never learns more than you do. So you're really on the same page throughout. And that was the best way to tackle this kind of movie, because if there was no intrigue, you would not be interested. My favorite thing about this film was the relationship between Adam Scott and the kid and how that evolves and develops throughout the entire movie. I'm not going to say anything more about that angle because that really is what makes this movie. Now on to my negatives. We never really learn that much about Adam Scott and Evangeline Lilly other than information related to them and the kid. You never know much about either of their characters or how and when and why they fell in love. I guess you could say their characters were quite underdeveloped. It was kind of weird. This film had that kind of event type movie vibe to it, but I don't think I would technically call this an event movie. And I understand why Evangeline Lilly's character would turn a blind eye to a lot of the things the kid does because she's the mother. But there are some things where it's like, how can you not even question that in the slightest? That's not normal, and it's not natural. So I did struggle to believe that. There are a few times where there's either a big reveal, a dramatic moment, or really high tension, but then straight away it would cut to the next scene. It would be the next day, or it would be daylight again, or things would just be nice and relaxed. It's like they kept on pausing the story to regroup and just gather themselves again when they really should have just kept going and not stopped. I wouldn't call it a pacing issue, it was more of a writing issue. The end of this film is where it really fell apart for me, and it's just why I would not rate it as high as a score as I would have originally. There were a few things. The first, it was a smaller thing, it was the CGI. There's not really been that much CGI in this film until the very end, and it just looked really fake. Like, since this is a Netflix original film, I'm pretty sure it had quite a small budget, so why did they bother with that CGI? I think they could have found another way to tackle that, so there wasn't any CGI, or at least not that much. And the second thing about the ending was it felt a bit rushed and really underdeveloped. It even causes some new things to happen and raise more questions which they don't even answer or even try to answer. There is one third and final point I will say about the ending, because I just feel I can't ignore this because it does really bring the score down for me. But it's a major spoiler, so I'm not going to mention it until the very end of this video. And when I do, I'll put a major spoilers tag here so you can stop watching if this is a film you are planning to watch, because it is the very end of the film and I don't want to ruin it. Overall, I would say that this is a good film with good performances and a sense of mystery that really keeps you intrigued throughout. However, the underdeveloped ending does really bring the score down. I would say that this is a good one watch if you enjoy horror comedy movies. I can't say how it compares to Tucker and Dale vs. Evil because I've never seen that. It has a very The Burbs starring Tom Hanks kind of feel to it. So if you like that movie, I would say check this out. I would give Little Evil a 6 out of 10. So this is the spoiler alert moment. You have been warned. Okay, so if you're still watching, I'm going to assume you're fine with spoilers. So here we go. At the end of this film, there's a cult that either opens up a portal to hell or a hole that leads straight to the center of the earth. It's not very clear which one. Basically, there's a big massive hole in the ground with fire and some sort of connection to the devil. Anyways, the main characters defeat the cult, but the hole is still there. None of them even bat an eyelash at it, not even when they first saw it. It's like it's a normal thing that they've seen before and they just don't give a damn. None of them are like, oh my god, what is that thing? How do we seal that? Nope, they just walk off and go home because they've won. And straight away it cuts to the next and final scene and they're all happy, they're all laughing, and that's it. I don't know about you, but that sounds like quite a big thing. A big massive hole in the ground with a connection to the devil. But I guess if you want to ignore that, yeah, that's fine, that's cool. We're all gonna die anyway. Well, this review got dark. So do you have Netflix? Do you plan to check Little Evil out? Or have you already seen it? What were your thoughts on it? Why not write them down in the comments below? Let's have a discussion. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, why not hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you can see the next movie review that I put online. Until next time, see ya.